Hi guys, it's Liam, and it's time for another Glanmor Layout update. Right, so before we get into it, I'll just like to say that recently I've actually made a few new purchases, and you could say I've acquired some new stuff. So the first thing is this charming little Great Western 4575 small prairie tank, and this was actually a gift. Theo from Ben Menu Trains got me this for my birthday off of Hattons, and so for that I'm very grateful. So, yeah, big thank you to Theo. So this is a Barkman model, and I have actually used the Brockwell lane technique of actually painting it, all the black areas grey, and then but I've actually toned it right down by dry brushing it because the grey was a bit bright that I used. But so it has actually been weathered lightly. So I think that looks quite nice. Also a lamp has been fitted to it, and there will be crew going in the cab. I've got them, I just need to fit them. The second thing is this Barkman Mogul, number 5355, and this was also a birthday present, but this time from my mum. So she got me that for my birthday. Basically I set up the Hattons order and she just paid for it, you could say. But there was no complaining coming from me at all about that. So I got these two new engines. Another thing I've been doing is I've taken this Collet coach, which I actually got a while back, and basically I've been reconditioning it, because this is actually one of the old Hornby ones, really old Hornby ones, the Airfix mouldings and toolings. So what I've done is I've repainted the roof like a dark grey, painted all the handrails in like a silvery colour, and also gone around all the window frames on the doors and painted them in brown. I've also taken the end handrails, painted them silver, painted the door brown. The buffers have gone grey and we'll need some buffer grease effect added to them, and the lamp irons and the steps in grey as well. If we turn it round, I'll show you the other side. Oh, I forgot to mention I've also painted the axle boxes blue and the step along the side here grey on both sides. Then I've also toned down the white window shading around that window and painted the inside of the window frame red. I've come along and done the same thing with the brown, and on the other end I've also painted it red on that side, and also on the underframe I've painted some things grey just to highlight them a bit. But yeah, no, that looks quite nice, so I've been doing that as well. Now this next model was one I actually bought myself, and this is from the recent Christchurch train show, and for those of you who are familiar with Great Western engines, you'll know that this is indeed a 2800, Hornby 2800, number 2812, and it is a very, very wonderful model of one of the early 2800s, before they had the steam pipes going down from the side of the smoke box to the cylinders on the outside. As you can see, we've just got a snifter in there instead, what I believe is a snifter. And this model is absolutely fantastic. It comes with a vac pipe and, you know, separately fitted coupling that you have to fit yourself, but you know, the chain details all there. The pipe has actually I haven't fitted that permanently yet. You know, as you'd expect, we've got the sprung buffers, and I have to show you this. It's also got an apron plate, which is very cool, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it out quite right, but look at that cab detail. Absolutely fantastic. On that note, also at the train show, I also picked up this GWR horsebox van, and this truck here, which actually goes on to the end of that, but I don't think it looks quite right because of the difference in size, so I'll just keep these separate, and it looks fine. So I've also picked those up, and now I guess it's time to move on to what I've done on the layout. So since the last update, the layout has actually changed quite a bit, as you'll probably see just from looking around here. So the first major change, of course, is the cattle dock. So that's gone in just basically in the last couple of days. I built this. This is a ratio kit which has been a little bit kit bashed, so that the ramp actually comes down this side rather than down the back. As you can see, I've also added a retaining wall there, which will go all the way around there. This will be set into a hill, and then there'll be another opening in the retaining wall for the signal box, and there'll be a retaining wall that'll be go down to about half this here's height. That'll follow the siding around the back there, and there'll just be a hillside up above it. So that's been quite a good wee kit to build. I've just put some I think Pico model scene sheep in there. The next thing is also I've now got a wee crane. This is also a ratio kit. Very easy to assemble. It's been weathered up a little bit, as you can see with the rust colour. I made the chain a bit rusty and just a few rust spots here and there. I don't know how well the camera's actually picking that up, but yeah, it has been weathered a wee bit. So that's also been done. Also, if we come along, I've got the water crane here is now installed. And I've started on the platform edging tiles. That'll go all the way along, obviously. I've also decided that these two buildings here, so we've got the just a wee yard hut and a lamp hut, will probably be placed permanently here, and then in behind this wee section here will probably be like a station garden or like a compound. I haven't decided on that yet. Station garden will either be there or here. Maybe you could let me know in the comments. That would be quite good, because I'm undecided on that yet. At the end of the track here, obviously there's going to be a road going across. This is again not permanently placed, it's just sat there to add effect, but I quite like the idea of that. This siding is long enough for a 2800 to sit there. The 2800s are about the same length as a Hall model I've discovered, so a Hall's probably the maximum size of engine you'd get on there. Coming along, we've also made some improvements to the seawall. As you can see now, these here have been painted. I don't think they were in the last one. I've also added this wee extension on here, which is obviously incompleted. And there'll obviously have to be pillars going along here, and I've still got to do the stonework along here. But I have also added these steps that go up to the track level, where there'll be a boardwalk across the tracks and a ramp up to the platform there. And I'm thinking on this bit here, if there's enough space, maybe a conical water tower. Again, I'm undecided about that. I do quite like the look of those new dapple ones, so that might be something worth looking into. But basically, that's sort of just about all really that's sort of changed on here. The next sort of steps I have are to get hold of some plaster cloth and do this bit here. There'll also be a very slight hill, probably not much higher than my hand as it sits there, along there. So obviously that's the next step. Also I've got to finish obviously the tilings all the way along the platform. I've also got to finish off the station building. That's not quite complete yet. Obviously the roof isn't done. It needs posters and things to be added, and a few extra details and actual signs on there saying gents. But other than that, that's sort of... Oh, obviously I've got to do the stonework along here, and obviously the retaining wall at the back, as I said before. But other than that, that's really all that's happened. I'm still sort of in the process of working out exactly how this is going to go together, because I've actually had a bit of an idea, and that is to basically build a... We did actually take this to the show for people to see recently, and trains obviously do run on it. even though it's incompleted. But the modules join, and it's a very tight corner, and that corner is quite difficult to actually have lined up perfectly when it's this loosely held in place, and it's such a tight corner on the joint. We did actually get it going for the show, but it's not really ideal. So my thinking is that I was talking to Matthew about it as well, and he reckons it would be a good idea to actually build a diagonal section that'll come off at 45 degrees from the spaceboard outwards to ease out that curve quite a bit, obviously, and also it'll make the distance between Glanmor and Redfern quite, double basically in size. So it'd be a bit more realistic. So we're quite pro that idea at the moment. So that A, ease out the curve, and B, it would make a better distance between the two stations. So we're thinking that's probably going to be our best option at the moment. So we're looking into that. And yeah, so that's basically all that's really happened, guys. It's quite a bit's been done, but there's not really much to say about them. Also have assembled this height gauge. It's not quite completed, but it's in place, and it's just sitting there loosely. It's not glued down. But I'm quite happy with how it's all come out so far. And please let me know what you think about the station garden, whether it's there or there, because again I'm undecided about that yet. So yeah, your feedback is more than welcome. So anyway, guys, I think that's just about it for now. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook at Foxwood and Beachingham Model Railways. And we'll see you later. Bye.